Hi guys, how's it going? What time is it? I have no idea. I think it's about 6:30 in the morning on the 14th. This video needs to get uploaded to you today. And, you know, I really want to get this layout done. So I'm going to push through and finish up all the last bits and parts. I'm just going to put you guys on fast forward because I'm just going to be gluing down images. I'm going to be stabilo-ing. Going to figure out which to put there. And yeah, that's the plan. So right now I'm just trying to figure out where to put, this was the only actual ad that I could find for a snake lady. And I want to use that great image. There's a lot of images of women with snakes. There's very few ads of women with snakes. So that was one of the best that I had found. And I do love her. This is Kate Sandwina. And she liked to lift up her husband. She liked to body lift him. I think she's pretty awesome. The other choice would be the giant bearded man, which I think is pretty cool. I love this well-shaped phenomenal with oncoming currents. Ugh. This kind of makes me giggle, but I don't have any pictures of J. Bullsbach from Strasbourg. I guess I could look one more time. I do love the Kremlin. I really do. I just don't know what I would put in with him. I do have some for the wrestling guys. I have a couple of good wrestling pictures, so I could use that. But I kind of like Kate. I kind of like her in there. So this was the other snake, but she wasn't really more the snake person, but she was the, you know, just an exotic person. I don't know if she actually dealt with snakes. There were quite a few images of women. I can't pronounce the name. They had the extremely crazy, not crazy, yeah, kind of wild hair. And so a lot of the circuses had them. This is somebody's original art. That might have been like at Coney Island or something like that. Again, we've kind of gone through these. So, oh, I forgot about that photo. I should see if there's a spot for that photo on here. Because this photo cracks me up. It's actually much more expressive than this one. But if I were to put this one in here, I'd have to cover up this one, which it would be better if this was kind of an offset image, or if this was bigger, because I just think that that's just like excellent image. There's such a story behind that. It's like, so that might get changed. Lots of different pages to be working on here. We had an addition that we were going to make to this one also. I might change her coloring a little bit. Take a little bit of alcohol over the top of it and just kind of change that up a bit. Actually, that's water-soluble markers, so I could probably just take water. But that's where we're at so far. I'm going to put you guys back on fast forward and try to really get this guy knocked out. I just really want to get it done. And then I'll probably still need to address the outsides of the tents. And, you know, I'm thinking some ads, and the Barnum ads, and, you know, just kind of whatever. And then still thinking about how to address this guy. Okay, that's my plan for the morning. I'll be doing this for the next probably 2 hours. Hopefully I can get it done. I want to get it done. This has been a very intensive spread. I would guess that I probably have, well, I have 4 videos on it, and we know each video has at least 3 videos on it, and so that's probably 3 hours per video. Depends. I'm not really positive. I have a lot of time into this layout. But it's worth it. I mean, it's a very cool piece. I'm super happy with how it's coming along. It's, you know, it's just tough, hard. I'm not saying it's an easy one, that's for sure. Not for the faint of heart. Okay, guys. Here we go. I'm going to just restart you and you'll be on fast forward. I'm going to watch a show. All right, bye. Okay, once again, I just had the clicker. I just shut off the clicker. So, oh, jeez, I think I see it way over there on my desk. I can't wait to get organized. Okay. Okay, guys. At least a half hour's passed, if not a little bit more. I have my images roughly cut out. And I blew this one up a little bit. Oh, no, it goes here. Trying to keep you guys in the picture while I'm working on this book is difficult. But I think that's pretty great right there. This is more the vintage photo. But let's see if I can get that up just a little bit here. I probably can't. I'm going to have to most likely layer over the top of it. Yeah. So I'm just going to keep aware of where that photo is at. Maybe I could try to cut it out here just a little bit. I have no idea where my X-Acto knife is. It's probably down here at the bottom, ready to bite me. Oh my God. Okay. You know, I know that I talk about it a lot, about how frustrating it is when I can't find anything, but it truly is an understatement. Here it is. For me, not being able to find the right tools at hand is really, really discouraging. And I mean, there's definitely things that I could take off of my desk, and I'm going to have to get better at organization at the new studio, because I think what I'll end up doing is I'm looking to get a smaller table and more storage, more drawers. The dresser that I purchased has a lot of smaller drawers that will fit all the sprays. And, you know, if I can just have, I went under the actual stencil there. So if I can, yeah, I screwed up. Don't do that. I can fix it. I can't pull that off. I'm just going to put some gold in there. I'm going to put some brown in there, cover it up. You know, I just didn't want this line, because this line here will show. So I'm hoping, I'm really, truly, truly hoping that I can get myself organized and get my, kind of get my soul at peace with my workspace. Discombobulation is never a good thing. Truly, 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 never a good thing. Let's see, you know, even though I'm a single person, I don't have anybody else that I'm looking after, you know, no husband, no children, none of that. It just, you know, it still gets frustrating when you don't have the right layout, the right setup, all of those things. So do what you can to make your space as productive as possible. That's all I'm trying to say. My space right now is not, I mean, I have everything that I use just right here in front of me, and I like having it right here in front of me, but I need to break this habit, because this is not a good habit. This is not a healthy habit to have all this crap sitting here. It really isn't. There we go. We're gonna put that back someplace where I don't put my hand on it. Okay, so I don't mind this being a little ratted. It's not ideal, but let's see what we can do to fix it up here. And we're just kind of getting an undercolor that will cover it. Now remember, this is water soluble, and we're going to be putting Mod Podge over the top of it. That's going to make our Mod Podge very orange. So, oh, look at that. That's helping that stupid thing come up. I'm scrubbing a little bit here. The liquid from the pen is bringing that up. Yay. Now, if I would have only known that before, look what you guys just learned. If you're trying to pull up a photo, I wouldn't necessarily suggest doing this with your expensive distress marker. But you can, there must be something in here besides just water-soluble stuff, because it is really pulling that Mod Podge up well, which means that it has some sort of solvent in there. Look at that. Oh, it's just coming up so nicely now. Yay! Okay. Again, now we need to be really careful with our Mod Podge because there's a ton of ink on there. So let's try to pull that off as much as we can. And yeah, you know, I mean, I still have that goober spot there. Unfortunate. Let's get some stays on it. Our Miracle stays on. Just kind of grunge it down a bit here. And let's go right in there. Get that guy in there. And that should help set that ink also. A little purple. I'm going to cover up that white. Because we know how I feel about white. This purple over this gold makes just a gorgeous color. Remember that. I think this was the Copper Crackle. I think. But you use this, I think this is the egg, which one is the Seedless Preserves? Over the Copper Crackle. It does make a really beautiful color. Okay, so we've already got dirty fingers. I just love that image. It's a very dynamic, that is gesso. Don't use gesso. Oh, I needed to go do my water. Okay, so you guys saw how I fixed that in order to be able to put this on top of it. You don't need to watch me second by second glue it on. You know, of course, we have our little dude here that I glued on the other day. Here. So I'm going to put you guys on fast forward, and you can just watch me work. Again, I know I keep saying that, so okay. See ya.
sort of like, oh great, this is the daughter of a woman that I don't really love, and the daughter just is in and out so many other moms. They feel very happily with her mom. But at the same time, she's just a race of people to have someone to be drawn towards. That I love seeing the bonds between her and Brianna. She does give her some hard truths. Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
It is really sad that I just covered up that whole amazing, beautiful stencil. I could have cut out that image, I suppose. That probably would have been a great shape. Is it too late now? It probably is way too late. It's sat there for a bit and was pushed in. Ooh, we can pull it. Alright, let's see if we can pull this image off, because I like this image as is. Come on. Come on, darling. Come off. Come off. Let's go ahead and pull it off, see if we can get it off here without losing anybody. Got it. Okay. Let's get that stuck back down. This off of his head. There we go. Delicate operations, guys. Okay. Okay. Now I have to go find another one of those pictures where she's holding him over his head like that, like a ballet dancer. It's a pretty amazing photo. So I'm going to go print out another one. I think that was just from yesterday's, and it's just easier to print it out than to try to see if I have a second. You know, I could have done the same thing with this guy too, but I'm not a fan of fussy cutting. It drives me a little nuts. But I think in this case it'll create a very dynamic image, so. And it allows some of that background to be seen. That background was just beautiful. Alright, I'm going to go print that off and fussy cut, and then I'll bring you back. Alright, bye. Hi guys. Okay, I've got her fussy cut here. But what I want to do, and I don't have any tracing paper, so I'm trying to see if I can see the edge of her head and the hand, and that's kind of the approximation of where and hopefully I'm not drawing on the actual image underneath. Okay, so that's that, and I want her hand to go above that. I would really love for her to fit down into here though, because that makes the most sense. So if I look and see, if I had tracing paper, that would be ideal. I don't have any tracing paper. So we're going to, this is not the correct way to do this. This is not the optimal way. If you have tracing paper, if you have some sort of anything, anything that isn't doing it this way, I would suggest to do it. This is just finding something transparent in a pinch in order to get the correct cutout shape of her body in here. To the best of our ability. Now remember, his head is up there, so you want to make sure that when we're lining this up, you see how she has kind of this little beehive that goes that way. Okay, this is getting in my way. Don't need any of that. This is just a napkin, obviously. Now, if we look here, we need more space. Okay, so we line this up with that. Edge of the head, edge of that head, edge of his shoulder is pretty close here. It's kind of more like that. Something very similar to that. We want it to be pretty darn close there. So we're going to set this on there. We're going to look here and see where the top of his head is. This is right here. So we want her hand to hit the top of his head. Without that actually being too crooked, so it's going to kind of cover over his head. Come on, move. It's really going to cover over his head. Let's see if we can push it up here a little bit more. Okay, and we're going to put this over the top. Of course, I don't really know where I lined it up at. Hold on. One more time before we cut it out and have to recut it all out again. Just take the time. Let's do it something like that. There. So this spot here and this spot here. There. This would be much easier with tissue paper. Okay, so that's the shape that we want to cut that out at. Come on, baby. Moved. This is not the proper way to do this. I should have absolutely put this element on first. This back element, do your layers properly. It makes a huge difference and makes life a lot easier. Okay, we want that lined up a little differently. It's not going to ever match up perfectly doing it that way, but we're getting closer. Let's see here. I like the shape of it. I like everything that's going on with it here. Get that little piece of paper off. That's her hubby there. Let's push him up a little bit and get that lined up just right. Come on. Let's do the X-Acto. Okay, so it's not perfect. It's pretty good though. It sits in there nicer, you know. That's what I wanted. Actually, we could follow along with that line there of her suit. There. And we will darken this drastically. Actually, let's kind of make this a little bit nicer line there. Give her space. We're going to just do that. Actually, we're going to, whoops, come on. Make a halo around her. Okay. It's you know, intricate work sometimes. Make sure we have enough glue down here. I like it much better though. It was worth the fix. Definitely worth the fix. You know, that background is just too gorgeous to completely cover up. Truly, truly. There we go. Beautiful. Look at how gorgeous that is. It was worth it. It was a lot of work. It was worth it. Okay. I could have done that on this one too. But, you know, I'm generally not a huge fan of outlining people. Because I'm very fussy. So. And that one, I should have just left it as it was. Let's see if we can pull up some of that there. There we go. The pen just kind of melts that paper for some reason. Alright, we need to trim those arms off. Instead of wrapping them under, they need to be trimmed off. Go. And we're going to adjust this coloring for sure. This is the antique linen. Taking down the white. This is what we're doing. We're just taking down that white. We got another hand right there. Sad to cut off her hand, but you know, what do you do? Yeah, antique linen is this guy. It's still very wet. Let's see what we can do here. Okay. Beautiful. And the girls. You know, it's kind of a barely color. It just barely takes down that white. That's all I'm looking for. Now on this one, we want to be conscious of, I mean, there's a lot of dynamicism here that we can add. Is that a word? Dynamicness. Take down this guy. And critique his face because he got a little overworked. And all I'm doing here is just unifying the colors, taking down any white, which I think I keep saying over and over. Okay. Love her. There's something so amazing about her. It just, she's cool. And then we have our other strongman over here, of course. Okay, so now we are going to stabilo. Try not to interrupt these pages. I think everything's glued on finally. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think we've got all the stuff glued on for this layout. Let's put this somewhere where I don't kill myself with it. We'll find the lid for the glue and get that out of the way. That'd be nice. Clean up the desk here a little bit. Find the lid. We'll bring back more distressed inks at the end when we adjust all the colors. Okay, so I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm going to put you on fast forward. I am just putting on The Greatest Show on Earth. Just kind of, I watched it before, and now I just kind of want to watch it with different eyes after starting to know some of the stories behind these people, because I've done a lot of research now on them. So now that I have a different point of view, I really do want to see the rendition of the movie one more time and kind of get a little bit different background on it and see it. Being a visual person, it helps me to visualize and see if their stories are correct on what they've done. Cleaning up the crap. Okay, I'm going to put you on fast forward. Bye.